Hi guys, and welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be sharing with you guys some frequently asked questions on kidney transplant. I am pulling these questions out from you guys that I get commonly asked on a daily basis. So hopefully I get to answer one of your questions. Also, this is going to be kind of like a part 2 since I did a frequently asked questions that you guys asked me. So if you guys want to see a part 3, if I don't answer your question in this video, then definitely leave some questions down below and I could do a part 3 for you guys. But before we begin, I quickly want to encourage you to subscribe to my YouTube channel for weekly videos. Also, please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you guys find it helpful. And don't forget to share, guys, if you guys know anybody that is going through a transplant or contemplating about getting one, or somebody that's on dialysis, definitely share this video to them. Now let's begin, guys. The first question that I get commonly asked is, does the transplant hurt? And the first, obviously, it's going to be a cut in your abdominal area, so you are going to have incision pain, and you're obviously going to be tired because you just came out of that surgery and your body's going to be recovering. So yeah, the incision is a little painful, but they do give you painkillers to help with the pain. But overall, I want to say the pain goes away within 2 to 3 months, but every day that it goes by, it's getting better. So yes, you will have some incision pain, but nothing too unbearable. Another question, how long do you stay in the hospital? Well, this all depends. In my case, I was only there for 4 days, but I want to say you usually stay about 4 to 6 weeks, but I know somebody that stayed 2 weeks. So it really just depends how you are doing in your process, and it could take longer than 4 days or shorter than 2 weeks. So I want to say it varies per hospital, and it also varies per case. The next question I commonly get asked is, how long does a living donor transplant last? And medically speaking, the average is about 15 to 18 years, and for a deceased donor, 12 to 15 years. But I've met a ton of you guys through my channel that have told me they've had a transplant for more than 20 plus years or more than 30 plus years, and that truly amazes me. I believe that your diet, the way you take care of yourself, and the way you take care of your transplant really matters for the longevity of it. It's super important that you guys just really try to eat right and take care of your transplant right, and really follow your directions from the transplant team, and making sure you guys are doing constant lab work to check your transplant and just really just have maintenance with your transplant. That's how I believe that you can get the length of it. And it's amazing. Like, I spoke to somebody that has told me that they've had their transplant for 31 years. And the crazy thing is that it was from a deceased donor. So imagine how amazing that is, like having a deceased donor transplant last that long, even though medically speaking the average is 12 to 15 years. Like, that's double. So it's really up to you how you take care of it and how you maintain it. Another one is, how much medication are you on after transplant? Okay, so after the transplant, I was on a ton of medications. I want to say about 7 to 10 medications is usually what you get the first couple months, but then as the time goes by, they slowly start to reduce your medications. Now I'm only on 3 immunosuppressants, which is Celsep, prednisone, and belatacept, which is a monthly infusion that I go into the clinic. And then the other medications that I'm on, they're not immunosuppressants, but I am taking a multivitamin, biotin, a low blood pressure, and famotidine. So that's about 6 oral medications that I'm taking and 1 infusion. So it does drop down, because in the beginning I was taking a ton. I'll link the video up here if you guys want to watch it, of the medications that I was taking the first couple months of my transplant. And I'll link what I'm taking currently now right here as well if you guys want to check that out. Maybe that can help you guys, so you guys can get an idea of what medications to expect and kind of an overview of it all. Next one is, are the side effects from the medications hard? Okay, so yes, you do start to experience side effects, But this is a misconception that I had when I was on dialysis. So when I was on dialysis, I was very hesitant about getting a transplant because it seemed like if you got a transplant, it was like a temporary fix, but then other problems were going to follow along. And I know in some people's case that is the problem, because since your immune system is down, you're going to be more prone to infections and more prone to sicknesses. However, it really depends how you take care of yourself, and if you're on top of following the rules and following the safety for your health, then you can avoid all of that. And the medications and the side effects, they're not like impossible and so hard and difficult. Honestly, you do have your ups and downs when you wish like, oh my goodness, I wish my hair didn't fall out, or I wish I didn't gain so much weight, or I wish my mood swings weren't crazy, or I wish I could sleep at night. But it's not to the point that it's like very like difficult that you rather be back on dialysis. No, that's not the case. You're gonna be so grateful that you have a transplant, because the transplant is so much better than being on dialysis, since dialysis is, in my opinion, a slow death for you. So the transplant will outweigh the side effects like this. Like, you won't even pay attention to it when you're just living a healthy life and living a better quality of life since you're off dialysis. Next one is, how long does the transplant take to fully heal? Well, it all depends, guys. The incision takes about, I want to say, 6 months for it to completely heal. And overall, the transplant, I feel like it takes about a year for you could fully get accommodated to it, if that makes sense. So I want to say it takes about 6 months to a year for it to fully heal, for you to recover from it completely. Another question, and this I get asked by a ton of you guys, and I understand why you guys ask me this, is how long after the transplant can you start to exercise? And I understand, like I said, because you start to gain weight. So obviously eating right and exercising will help with that. So the doctors recommend that you wait 4 to 6 weeks before you start lifting anything over 10 pounds, and 6 months until you start doing any type of abdominal workouts. So wait about 6 to 8 months before you start doing like heavy lifting or even lifting anything. What I did when I was about 4 to 6 months, I believe, I started to run, and I was doing like 6 miles, 5 miles, 8 miles a day, and I did rush to it. So really just take your time and heal, but then when you hit those 6 months, start to run, start to walk. And then I waited about a year and a half to get a membership and like really start working on my body. So it's up to you. Definitely wait those 6 months before you start to do anything in the gym, guys. Another question, can you eat whatever you want? So after the transplant, you are allowed to eat whatever you want, in the aspect of you can eat like any fruits and vegetables as long as you clean them right. But then you do have restrictions. You cannot have grapefruit. You cannot eat anything raw. You have to make sure everything is properly clean, like fruits and vegetables. And you can eat those raw, because I do it all the time and I've never had a problem. And what they're mostly speaking about raw is like raw meats and some other little things that the transplant team will go over exactly, because I can't remember them from the top of my head. But yes, you can eat whatever you want. Like, you're not going to be on a low sodium restricted diet. And I know that's what a lot of people go through on dialysis, or low potassium or low phosphorus. You won't be on one of those diets, but you will be able to eat whatever, like any type of fruits. For example, an avocado, a mango. These are high in potassium, but you'll be able to eat them since you do have a working kidney now. I do recommend, though, that you make sure you make healthy food choices, because I would not suggest that you guys start to load yourself with high sodium foods like chips, fast foods, etc. Like, try to avoid that. Try to avoid soda and juices, because that will harm your transplant, and not even just your transplant, your whole body in general, because what you feed yourself is going to truly reflect and is going to be the outcome of your body. So as long as you're eating healthy and good, that's what matters. Okay guys, so those are a few questions. I hope I was able to answer one of your questions. Also, if you guys want to see a part 3, then definitely leave some questions down below, and I can definitely do that for you guys. I love you guys. I'll see you in my next video. I hope you guys have a blessed and beautiful day. Bye guys.